Story time about how my ex-boyfriend and my ex-best friend are engaged to be married right after we broke up. Disclaimer, I'm using fake names, and also please do not get into it with any of their family members on social media because I've already dealt with that. Okay, so boyfriend and I were together for about a year and a half. We lived together. We had a dog together. We broke up beginning of January. His friend and I were friends for about 5 to 6 years. I would have considered her my sister. I was very close with her parents. She was there for me in a lot of dark times, and I feel like I was there for her. I told her pretty much everything about my life. So me and boyfriend started having consistent issues, and I think we both just kind of realized things weren't going to work out. Towards the end of last year, had a trip planned to go see my mom in Pennsylvania for the holidays. He didn't want to go. We were going to also take a drive up to New York City to go experience that around Christmas time. He didn't want to go. So I brought my best friend with me, and she saw my family for the holidays, and we went up to New York together. So on this trip, I'm kind of talking to her about our relationship and how I'm kind of conflicted on what to do. And she's very adamant that I should break up with him. She's telling me I deserve better. We should have been engaged already. All of the things. Yeah. Anywho, so when I get back from New York, I'm pretty positive that that's kind of how things are going to go. Anywho, beginning of January, we end up breaking up. About mid-January, I packed all my things and moved in with my friend. So through all this, I'm talking to my best friend. I'm saying, like how I feel about the situation. She's coaching me through this whole thing. Like, so excited to have a hot girl summer. She's so glad I'm single for the first time. Like, he was terrible anyways. Like, mind you, through the relationship, she always said he wasn't attractive. He always said she was very outgoing. I'll word it that way. They never really had nice things to say about each other. It communicated some over text. She was trying to do a bodybuilding show, so she would send him pictures, kind of, to get his opinion because he was a personal trainer. And I allowed it because these are the two people I trusted most in my life. Like, this is my sister and I thought was going to be husband. Anyways, so me and him end up deciding it's hard for us to be away from each other, and so we're going to work on things. So this is going on for the span of like January. There was actually a big snowstorm in Arkansas, and we ended up like staying together, eating dinner together, all the things, like basically being together, but we weren't. Beginning of February comes around. He's kind of being a little bit iffy, like the week leading up to Valentine's Day. I come to him about it. Friday night, the day before Valentine's Day, I think it was. He's very adamant. I asked him several times, are you seeing another girl? He promised to my face, like on the phone, no. I was like, if you are, just tell me. Anyways, he then turns off his location, and I'm like, why'd you turn your location off? And he's like, there's no reason. I'm like, okay. So he's like, do you want me to just leave you alone for tonight? And like, I won't bother you. Like, I know you're really going through it. I try to call him, and he doesn't answer. So then I'm like, okay, mind you, my apartment that I'm staying in now with my friend is like right across the street from our old apartment. Well, I drive past. I'm just a girl. He's not home. Okay. I call my best friend. Hey, he's not home. I think he's with a girl. She's like on the phone with me, like, oh my gosh, like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's like basically lying to my face. Okay. So I go to bed the next morning. I wake up, I go up to his work, and I confront him because he has yet to answer me. And I'm like, hey, I know you were with a girl last night. Like, just be honest with me. I would have never done this to you. You know the deal. I don't even have to go there. Anyways, he's kind of just like laughing in my face and tells me he's been talking to another girl for like over a week. I call my best friend as soon as I leave, and I'm like, I'm never talking to him again. Like, this is so hurtful. And she's like, oh my gosh, that sucks so bad. Like, forget him anyways. Well, then she starts becoming distant. I planned to move to Pennsylvania to be with my family. That was kind of just like the final push that I needed. I'd already been thinking about it. So I'm getting ready to move. I'm trying to like call her about seeing each other and hanging out, and she's like kind of dodging me. Anyways, I finally moved to Pennsylvania. I get a call. Shout out Ellicate. She calls me and lets me know that Actually, our old sorority sister spotted them together in the Home Goods, my ex-best friend and my ex-boyfriend. They were shopping together. I texted them both a paragraph about how I felt about that situation, and she kind of just responded with, this was never supposed to happen. Like, oh my gosh, like, I'm so sorry. I know you're never going to talk to me again. Yeah. I never really got answers as to how, why, when, where, any of the things. And yeah, and then I found out through the grapevine that they're now engaged. That was February. It is now June the 1st. I found out they were hanging out mid-March. So there's no telling, no, like beginning of March. There's no telling how long that was going on for. I'm assuming she was with him the night before Valentine's Day when I was calling, trying to figure out who he was with. You don't speak to either of them anymore, obviously. If you guys support that situation, please block me because I don't want to associate with you because that's sick and weird. In all seriousness, I laugh about the situation frequently. I think it's hilarious. Maybe I can't process it yet, but you know, if people can do that to someone, then they deserve each other. I wish them nothing but blessings and pray for them and hope that God works in their lives because that is not very kind to do to someone. So yeah, happy wife, happy life. Get ready with me while I tell you why my 8th grade boyfriend's wife has me blocked on all of social media. We're 25. When I was in 8th grade, I switched from private school to public school, and it was my first time interacting with like other normal children because my private school had like 5 people in our class. The only thing that I really knew about public school and about like people is what I had read in books and seen in movies and heard from my parents. And somehow I just got it in my head that all the popular kids were like in student government, like class president, secretary, treasurer. I thought that all the like popular kids were the student government kids. So I made it my mission as soon as I went to public school to date the president of student council. We started dating and he was very sweet, like the sweetest kid you'll ever meet. So kind and so respectful. Like honestly, I have nothing but good things to say about him, but we were 14, you know. Eventually, I found out that not all of the people in student government were the popular kids and dumped him to date a guy whose dad owned a CC's Pizza. It was like a little more like social currency. I didn't keep in touch with him at all, like through the rest of 8th grade and through high school until he started dating one of my friends our junior year, who is his current wife. This girl and I were really good friends. We became friends in our 8th grade choir class and stayed friends throughout high school because we were both part of a Christian club called Seekers. And we would like catch up and talk about like Jesus stuff. I didn't have any problem that she was dating this guy because I had like moved way on. I was really happy for her because they were both really great people. He was like, you know, very, very involved in his relationship with God. And so was she. I was like, this is a great match. But there was one thing that did bother me. Their PDA was through the roof obnoxious. It didn't bother me because he was my ex-boyfriend from when I was 14, but it bothered me because it was 2 of my friends making out all over each other in the corner with their tongues down each other's throats. It was like in the hallways, during passing periods. I remember one time we had to go and like sign on poster boards of like Texas Tech poster board, UT poster board, and you had to go sign on the poster boards where you decided you were going to college, and they both put Texas Tech, and like once they wrote their names, they just started like making out in front of the Texas Tech sign, and people were like, we're trying to get through to sign that we're going to Texas Tech in the fall. Of course, I never said anything to him, but I never said anything to the girl that I was friends with, like, hey, this is too much over the top, because I just didn't feel like it was my place, but I did begin to distance myself from them. The problem was I had a really, really fire picture with her that I wanted to use on my social media accounts. So even though me and this girl kind of like drifted apart, I still kept the profile picture as me and the girl because I looked good in the picture. Eventually, she confronted me about it. She was like, why do you have this picture up of us if we don't even talk? Like, I don't understand. And I did, instead of explaining why that I thought I looked good in the picture, and I told her that the reason why we like hadn't talked or hadn't kept up or had kind of like fallen out was because her and her boyfriend were really, really over the top with the PDA. We got into this big argument where she basically disagreed that they were all over each other. It was like the talk of the school, so it wasn't really like up for debate that they were like all over each other and disgusting. But you know what? They ended up being married. I can't remember if they have a kid now or not, but she blocked me on all social media after that. I didn't have him on social media like post our eighth grade breakup. So I genuinely have no clue how their lives turned out. I know that they did end up getting married, but I never heard from them again. I thought about like reaching out to her and apologizing, but I just feel like now it's been like 6 years. So